Welcome to our channel. Today, we will take you on a journey through one of the biggest mysteries in history, the Great Pyramid of Giza. This is not just a building, it is a puzzle filled with secrets, questions, and strange discoveries. How did ancient people build it? What were they trying to tell us? And could they have had help from beyond our world? Stay with us to the end. This story will open your mind and make you think in a whole new way. This is more than just a story. It is a journey into one of the biggest mysteries in human history. Today, we will talk about something so unbelievable and so interesting that even the smartest scientists still cannot fully understand it. Imagine this. You are standing in a huge desert. Golden sand stretches far in every direction. The hot wind blows on your face, carrying whispers from an ancient time. And in front of you is something massive and perfect, something hard to believe. It is a structure that has stood for more than 4,500 years. It has seen empires rise and fall. It has survived storms, wars, and time. Yes, my friends, I'm talking about the Great Pyramid of Giza. This is not just a building. It is a mystery that has confused scientists, archaeologists, and historians for hundreds of years. How was it built? How did people in ancient times, with no modern machines, lift and place millions of huge stones with such perfection? Why did they build it? Is there something still hidden inside? This is just the start. Stay with me until the end, because what you learn today will change the way you see history. Let's go back 4,500 years to ancient Egypt. There was a powerful king. People didn't just see him as a ruler. They believed he was a living god. His name was Khufu, also known as Cheops. He wanted something no other king had ever had, a monument that would last forever. But this monument would be more than just large. It had to be the biggest, the strongest, and the most perfect building ever made. Something so great that people thousands of years later would still be amazed by it. So he gave the order to build what we now call the Great Pyramid of Giza. This was a huge task. Think about it. There were no trucks, no cranes, and no modern tools. The pyramid was made of 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block weighed between 2.5 and 15 tons, as heavy as 2 elephants. The total weight of the pyramid was 6.5 million tons. Its height was 146.64 feet, as tall as a 50-story building, and each stone was placed with perfect mathematical accuracy. Even today, with our advanced tools, we can't easily build something like this. But here is what makes it even more mysterious. The entire pyramid was built in just 20 years. Let's do some easy math. There are 2.3 million stones. The pyramid took 20 years to build. That means workers had to place one stone every 2 to 3 minutes, day and night, without stopping, for 20 years. How did they lift such heavy stones so high without cranes? How did they move these huge stones across the desert without trucks? And, most importantly, why? Before we try to answer these questions, let's talk about the workers. Many people think that the pyramids were built by slaves, but this is not true. Archaeologists have found strong proof that the workers were skilled builders, engineers, and craftsmen. They were not treated like slaves. They were given good food, a place to stay, and even medical help. They lived in well-planned worker villages near the pyramid. These workers were respected because they were building something meant to make their civilization live on forever. Still, even with many skilled workers, The big question remains, how did they build the pyramid? This is where the most interesting theories and mysteries begin. For years, scientists and engineers have tried to explain how ancient Egyptians moved and lifted such big stones. Here are some of the most well-known ideas. 1. The ramp theory. Did they build huge ramps? One of the most common ideas is that they made giant ramps from mud bricks and limestone. They pulled the stones up these ramps using wooden sleds and ropes. They even poured water on the sand to make it smoother, so the sleds could move more easily. This idea sounds possible. But there's a problem. If these ramps were real, they would have had to be even bigger than the pyramid. And so far, no solid remains of these ramps have been found. Could there be another answer? 2. The internal spiral ramp theory. Did they build something inside? Another idea is that the ramps were inside the pyramid, like a spiral ramp, similar to a winding staircase. The workers may have made hidden tunnels to move the stones up inside the structure. This would explain why we don't see any huge ramps outside. But again, no clear proof of these tunnels has ever been found. 3. The water transport theory. Did they float the stones? Some experts believe that ancient Egyptians used water canals to move the stones. Back then, the Nile River was much closer to the pyramids than it is today. They might have used boats to float the heavy stones closer to the building site. This could explain how they transported the stones, but it still doesn't explain how they lifted them so high. Now comes the biggest question of all. Why were the pyramids built? The official answer is that the Great Pyramid was built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu. Inside the pyramid, there is a room called the King's Chamber, where his body was supposed to be placed. But something about that doesn't add up. What if I told you that the Great Pyramid is not just an empty building? There are hidden rooms, strange tunnels, mysterious findings, and secrets that even scientists today can't explain. From the outside, the pyramid looks like a huge, solid stone structure. But the inside is much more mysterious. There are 3 main rooms inside the pyramid: the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and the Subterranean Chamber. But the real mystery is not just these rooms. It's the hidden tunnels, blocked doorways, and strange paths that go nowhere. At the center of the pyramid is the King's Chamber, a dark, silent room made completely of red granite. This type of stone is so hard that even modern tools struggle to cut it. Inside the room, there is only one object, a large, empty stone box called a sarcophagus. This is where Pharaoh Khufu was supposed to be buried, but when the chamber was opened in modern times, something surprising was found. The sarcophagus was empty. There was no mummy, no gold, nothing. And there's something else strange. The sarcophagus is too big to fit through the narrow hallways that lead into the chamber. This means it must have been placed there before the pyramid was built around it. Some people believe that this room was never meant to be a tomb. But if it wasn't a tomb, what was it? Another strange room is called the Queen's Chamber, but no queen was ever buried there. There are 2 small shafts rising from the chamber, leading upward, but they don't go anywhere. They are too small for a person to enter. For many years, no one knew why they were built or where they led. There is also a large hallway inside the pyramid called the Grand Gallery. It connects the chambers together. Its shape is very unusual. It doesn't look like anything else in ancient Egyptian buildings. Its walls rise at a perfect angle and create a strange visual effect. The Grand Gallery is perfectly aligned with certain stars. Some people believe it was not just a passage, it may have had another purpose. Was it built to hold energy? Was it a part of a machine used for science or religion that we can no longer understand? No one really knows. And the mysteries don't end there. In 2017, scientists used advanced scanning tools to explore the pyramid. They made a surprising discovery, another huge hidden space. This space is larger than the king's chamber, but no one has ever been inside. No one knows how to enter it, what is inside it, or why it was built. Even stranger, the Egyptian government has not allowed anyone to investigate it further. Why don't they want people to know what's inside? Some believe it could hold ancient objects that could change our understanding of history. Maybe it's where Pharaoh Khufu was really buried. Or maybe it hides something even more mysterious. For now, it remains sealed. And here's something that might surprise you even more. Scientists discovered that the Great Pyramid gives off a strange energy. In 2018, researchers found that the pyramid focuses electromagnetic energy in certain rooms. Because of this, some people believe the pyramid was more than just a tomb. Was it used to produce power? Was it built to connect with the stars? Was it made using knowledge that we no longer understand? Have you ever wondered why modern tools are now being used to study the pyramid? Have you heard of the Dendera light, an ancient Egyptian carving that some believe shows proof that they had electricity? And did you know that the Great Pyramid is taller than some modern skyscrapers, if you count what lies underneath? For thousands of years, people have tried to explore every part of the pyramid, but many parts are still hidden and blocked off. There are very small tunnels, too narrow for people to go inside. Some lead to places we still haven't explored. That's why scientists have started using special robots to go where no one has gone before. One of the most famous robots used in the pyramid was called JD. It was a small, remote-controlled robot with a camera, designed to explore the narrow and mysterious shafts inside the pyramid. Scientists sent the robot into the Queen's chamber. The robot moved through a tunnel so small that no human had ever entered it before. As it continued forward, it reached a tiny stone door with 2 copper handles. This was already strange, because no one understood why there would be a door like this inside a pyramid. The robot used a small drill to make a hole in the door. Then it sent a tiny camera through the hole to see what was behind it. What it found was surprising. Behind the door was a small, hidden room. But instead of finding a hallway or an empty space, the camera found something strange, red markings on the walls that looked like ancient symbols. These symbols had never been seen before, and no one knows what they mean. Some people think they are secret codes left by the builders of the pyramid. Others believe they could be signs of lost knowledge. And here's something even more shocking. Another robot was sent into a different tunnel, and it found another hidden door that led to a second unknown room. Why would the ancient Egyptians create secret rooms inside the pyramid that no one could reach? Were they hiding something? And why is it that even with modern tools, we still can't unlock all the secrets of the pyramid? One of the most interesting things about the Great Pyramid is its exact location on Earth. If you look at a map, you'll see that it is built almost exactly at the center of all land on Earth. If you measure the distance from the pyramid to the North Pole, South Pole, East, and West, it is placed nearly perfectly in the middle. The Great Pyramid is also aligned almost perfectly with true north. Even today, it is hard to build something with this kind of accuracy, but the ancient Egyptians did it thousands of years ago. Its location also matches important math and geography facts that seem too advanced for ancient people to know. This brings up a big question. How did the Egyptians know where the exact center of Earth was? Did they have advanced knowledge of geography and space? And if they did, where did this knowledge come from? Some researchers believe this is not just luck. They think the pyramid was built in this exact spot for a reason. There is an old Egyptian temple called the Dendera Temple. Inside the temple, archaeologists found something very strange. A carving on the wall that some people believe shows the Egyptians had electricity. The carving looks like a big glass bulb with a long wire attached to it. Inside the bulb, there is a shape like a snake that looks very much like a modern electric filament, the same part found in light bulbs today. But how can this be possible? The ancient Egyptians lived thousands of years before electricity was invented. So how could they know about light bulbs? Some scientists think the carving is just a religious image, but others believe it might be proof that the Egyptians used some kind of advanced lighting inside their pyramids and temples. Inside the Great Pyramid, there are no signs of soot or smoke on the walls. This means they probably didn't use fire or torches to light the halls. Some researchers think the Egyptians used some type of electric lighting to move through the dark tunnels. If this is true, it would change everything we believe about ancient history. It would mean the Egyptians were much more advanced than we thought. Many historians and researchers believe that the pyramids are too perfect, too complex, and too mysterious to have been built with only simple tools. So now another question appears. Did the ancient Egyptians get help from beings from another world? It may sound hard to believe, but the more people study the pyramids, the more strange and unexplained things they find. Even in our modern world, building something like the Great Pyramid would be extremely difficult. It's not just big, it is mathematically perfect. The corners of the pyramid line up with the four main directions: north, south, east, and west, with amazing accuracy of 0.05 degrees. Some researchers believe the Egyptians knew advanced science and engineering that was later lost over time. Others believe something even more unbelievable, that humans did not build the pyramids alone. If you read ancient Egyptian texts, you'll find something very strange. They often wrote about beings that came from the sky. These beings were described as tall, powerful, and full of knowledge beyond human understanding. They were called the Neteru, which means watchers or guardians. According to ancient Egyptian stories, these beings came from the heavens and taught humans how to build, farm, and understand the universe. These beings were said to have great powers, advanced tools, and even the ability to fly. So here is the question. Were these gods just myths, or were they real beings who visited Earth thousands of years ago? Some people believe that these Neteru were actually aliens, visitors from another world who came to Earth to help humans build the pyramids and other great structures. Inside many ancient Egyptian temples, you can find carvings and drawings that show strange beings. Some of these images show figures with long heads, big eyes, and strange clothing that looks like modern astronaut suits. One of the most famous carvings is found in the Temple of Abydos. There, hieroglyphs show images that look like a helicopter, a spaceship, and even a futuristic aircraft. Skeptics say these carvings are just misread or misunderstood, but others believe they are clear signs that the Egyptians saw something strange and recorded it in their artwork. Could these figures have been more than just imaginary gods? Could they have been real alien visitors? Another big mystery about the Great Pyramid is its connection to the Orion constellation. If you look at the three pyramids at Giza from above, you will see something amazing. They match perfectly with the three stars in Orion's belt. This match is so exact that many researchers believe it cannot be a mistake. According to the ancient Egyptians, their gods, especially Osiris, the god of the afterlife, came from Orion. They believed the souls of their pharaohs would go to Orion after death to join the gods. Did the Egyptians simply make up this story, or did they really know something about life beyond Earth? Some researchers believe the pyramids were built as signals to the stars, maybe even as a message to those who came from Orion. Is it possible the Egyptians were trying to communicate with aliens, or were they following instructions from visitors who had already come from Orion? Historians often say that human civilization developed slowly, but when you look at ancient Egypt, something unusual happens. Around 5,000 years ago, people lived in simple villages and small homes. But suddenly, around 4,500 years ago, Egypt became a very advanced civilization. They began building huge pyramids. They used advanced math and engineering. They had deep knowledge of space that is still hard to explain today. It was as if someone had given them all this knowledge, someone who already knew how to build large structures, study the stars, and do complex math. Could it be that this knowledge did not come from humans alone? If you study the stones of the Great Pyramid, you will see something amazing. The cuts on the stone are so smooth and perfect that they look like they were made with very advanced tools, maybe even something like lasers. Modern engineers say that to cut stones so perfectly today, we would need machines like high-powered saws or lasers. But how could ancient Egyptians do this with only copper tools? Some experts think the Egyptians had a lost technology, something we have not found again. Others think they had help from visitors who brought powerful tools with them. Could this be proof that aliens gave the ancient Egyptians technology far ahead of their time? For thousands of years, the Great Pyramid has stood like a silent guardian, watching over the world and hiding its secrets deep inside its stones. Scientists, archaeologists, and historians have studied it for many years, but the more they learn, the more mysterious it becomes. And the Great Pyramid is not the only strange structure in the world. The pyramids in Mexico, built by the Mayans and Aztecs, look very much like the pyramids in Egypt. In China, there are pyramids hidden in the forests that also show the same kind of math and design. Even in Bosnia, pyramids were found that are believed to be even older than the Great Pyramid of Giza. These ancient civilizations were separated by thousands of miles, with no known way to talk or share ideas with each other. But somehow, they all built the same types of structures, used the same kind of math, and aligned their buildings with the same stars. Is this just a coincidence? Or is it proof that someone or something was guiding them? The Great Pyramid is more than just a monument. It is a message, a sign of something much bigger than we can understand. It reminds us that there is still a lot we don't know. It shows us that human ability is greater than we often believe. If people from ancient times could do things that seem impossible, then what can we do today? Maybe the pyramid is challenging us. Maybe it is telling us not to stop asking questions, not to stop looking for the truth, because the truth is still out there, waiting to be found. The mystery of the pyramids is not only about the past, it is also a lesson that tells us to dream bigger, to try harder, and to never accept the limits that the world puts on us, because the true power is not in the pyramid stones, The true power is in the human mind. The power to think, to ask, and to believe in what seems impossible. Maybe one day we will discover the final secret of the pyramids. Or maybe the pyramids were never meant to give us all the answers. Maybe they were built to inspire us to ask better questions. If this story made you curious or inspired you, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing and easy to understand stories like this one. And don't forget to click the bell so you never miss a new video. Thank you for watching, and keep asking questions, because the truth is still out there.